I have been switching books in and out of this TBR for literal weeks now, and so after this video goes out, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm sticking to what's on this. Hello everybody, my name is Danny, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my Vox Machina-thon TBR. So if you somehow missed my Vox Machina-thon announcement, I will link that for you down below in the cards so that you can check it out, and that gives you the rundown on everything to do with this readathon. And so it will be taking place in just a few weeks in December. To get ahead of that, I'm putting out this TBR video. So I am one of the co-hosts for Team Vax, and so I will put the prompts up here for you guys to see them, and I'm going to show you what books I've picked out for those prompts. There are a couple of them where I've given myself some options because I truly can't decide, and so yeah, there's more than 5 books on this TBR because I can't decide, but we'll get there when we get there in December. So the first prompt is for Keyleth, and that is to read a book with nature or elemental magic. And for that, I will be reading The Shadow of Kyoshi by F.C. Yee. This is the second book in the Kyoshi duology. The first book is The Rise of Kyoshi, and I'm actually currently reading that in anticipation for this book. I've read the first one before, and then I just never picked up the second one until recently, and so a reread was very much due. And so it was actually very lucky of me to be able to fit that on my SkiBR for November so that I could fit it in before having to read book 2 in December. So this is the first book on the TBR. The second prompt is for Daggers, and that is to read a book that is either set in or from your home country. And I went a little crazy on this because this book is not only from/set in my home country, not even my home state, but the author is actually from my hometown, and that book is A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. I got this book way back in 2014 when it was first published. It was so exciting. My creative writing club in high school had like a whole event surrounding the release of this book because the author is from my hometown, and so it's a signed copy. I don't think I've read it since 2014, but it's a really cute contemporary college age romance, and it is, I think, 14 different point of view characters. They aren't the two people who fall in love, it's all the people around them. And some of them are pretty strange, like there's the POV of a squirrel and also a park bench, and I remember so clearly the first chapter that is from the park bench's point of view starts with the line, "Not all butts are created equal," and it's just so funny. I loved the tone of this, and I'm so happy to be returning to it after, oh gosh, has it been 7 years? Wow. But yeah, so this is the second book on my TBR. The next prompt is for the Raven Queen, and this one's pretty simple. It's just to pick a book that you will only read at night. And I actually have 2 options for this one. The first is this chunker, which is Inheritance by Christopher Pullman. This is the 4th and final book in the Inheritance cycle. The first book is Aragon, and over the past several months I've been working my way through this series, and so now I'm on the last one, and I really want to get it done by the end of the year. So that's why this is the first choice for this prompt, and if I don't get this one on there and I end up reading something else, that book in its place for this prompt would be The Golden Compass by Christopher Pullman, if I can get my hands on a copy, and that is because it is the Nostalgia Train book club pick for December, and so between this book and that book, one of them is going to get read. Maybe both of them if I can like fit another book in during the month, but with it being this big, probably not. I really want to read The Golden Compass, but if I can't get my hands on it, then Inheritance would be a good choice for this prompt too. The next prompt is for Simon the Serpent Belt, and that prompt is to read a book with the word snake or serpent in the title, or with a snake on the cover. For that, I will be reading The Serpent's Shadow by Rick Riordan. Not only does it have serpent in the title, but if you look, there's the actual shadow of the serpent. So it's kind of like a double hit there for this prompt. This is the third and final book in the Kane Chronicles series trilogy thing, and The Red Pyramid is the first book, and it is on my November SkiBR TBR, and I have not read it yet, but I will get to it this month. I'm filming this pretty early, so I have plenty of time. And then I also will be reading book 2 during the month so that I can read book 3 in December. Book 2 is The Throne of Fire, I want to say. That sounds correct. We'll go with it. And so this is the end of my Rick Riordan reread that I've been doing over the past couple of years. I reread all of his other books and read Magnus Chase for the first time, and it's time for the Kane Chronicles. So this is the fourth book on my TBR. And last but certainly not least, the prompt for Sneak Attack is to read a standalone. And I actually don't read that many standalones, so it was kind of tough to narrow this down because I would like to read more standalones, so there are plenty for me to choose from. But the one that is most likely going to be what I read for this readathon is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I have not read this book since middle school. The Princess Bride is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's so good, and the book I remember being just as good, and it's weird. It's like presented as an abridged version, but it's not. It's the actual whole story, and it's just interrupted in there by the narrator being like, oh, let's just skip through this part, blah blah blah, but those parts don't actually exist. It's strange. I really like the format. And yeah, so this is what's most likely going to fill this spot on my TBR because it's the only one of my 3 options that I currently own. The other 2 options are Little Women by Louisa May Alcott and If on a Winter's Night a Traveler by Italo Calvino. And those options are on there because they're standalones, and they are actually 2 books that in January I said I wanted to read at some point during this year, and I haven't done that because I haven't gotten my hands on any copies. So if I can get my hands on one of those 2 books, they will be in there, but I'm not pressed about it. I am perfectly okay with reading this book for my readathon TBR. If I could speak, that'd be great. And so this is the last book, sort of. Technically, the last book on the TBR is Kith and Kin, but that is not for a prompt. That's just because the whole readathon is to celebrate the release of it at the end of this month. So, yeah. And so these 5 books, plus obviously Kith and Kin, are my tentative TBR picks for the Vox Machina-thon in December, although this top one and this one right here might be switched out if I can get my hands on some other books. And I think this is manageable for a month. I can swing it, I think. Especially because I won't be reading, no, I will be reading. I won't be writing in December, taking a break after NaNoWriMo. And so, yes, this is heavy, so I'm gonna put it down to do my outro. And that is all for this video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my channel for more content. Be sure to leave a comment down below if you are already decided on what you're reading for the Vox Machina-thon, or feel free to make your own video. I would love to watch it, or just read your comment if you want something more low-key. And in that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.